So for the third straight year, Anastasia Eala makes it to the second round of the Madrid Open. What a professional, mature performance that was against one of the world's best ever in former world number 11, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. This time a qualifier, and she moves past the 34-year-old in some style. It's brilliant from Eala once again.
Eala has done it again, and at this point, the tennis world might want to stop acting surprised every single time. The young Filipina star marched into the Madrid Open 2026 and made her presence impossible to ignore, taking down the experienced and dangerous Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in straight sets, 6-3, 6-3. Now let's be clear here. This was not one of those scorelines where you say, oh wow, close match, could have gone either way. No. This was the kind of win where one player slowly realizes the house keys are no longer theirs. Eala did not just win this match. She took control of it, redecorated it, and left with the spotlight on her shoulder. Once she found her rhythm, the whole court started looking like it belonged to her. Every rally, every angle, every point had that feeling of inevitability. If the WTA had not been paying attention before today, they are now looking over their glasses and saying, wait, who is this again? Spoiler alert. It's the same player they should have been watching already. So let's break down exactly what happened in Madrid, because this was bigger than just another victory on paper. This was a statement. This was a loud, bold, front page kind of message sent directly to every player in the draw. The translation was simple. Eala is here, she is ready, and she did not travel all the way to Madrid to be anyone's warm-up act. And to fully appreciate how impressive this was, you need to understand who stood across the net. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova is no easy task. This is a veteran pro with years of high-level experience, deep tournament runs, and enough match wisdom to write a manual. She has played on the biggest stages in tennis, reached Grand Slam finals, and knows exactly how to make younger opponents uncomfortable. She's the kind of player who can turn a match into homework. When she steps onto clay, she is not there for sightseeing. She is not there for the local pastries. She is there to win. And early on, she looked ready to do exactly that. From the opening game, Pavlyuchenkova came out sharp, steady, and full of veteran tricks. She controlled the pace of rallies, mixed her placement smartly, and kept the ball landing in awkward areas of the court. It was classic, experienced player tennis. Not flashy, but deeply annoying for the person on the other side. Her game plan was obvious. Keep Eala moving, deny her comfortable hitting positions, disrupt the rhythm, and slowly chip away at the confidence of the younger player 1 point at a time. That first game, smooth, efficient, dangerous looking. For a moment, it genuinely seemed like Pavlyuchenkova had found the blueprint. Then came the problem. The blueprint forgot it was dealing with Eala, because here is what makes Eala different. She does not panic when things get uncomfortable. She does not fold because someone started stronger. She does not start swinging wildly like someone trying to swat a mosquito with a frying pan. No, she watches. She calculates. She adjusts. Then she strikes. And once she made that adjustment, the match changed fast. Eala began opening the court beautifully. She started stretching rallies wide, forcing Pavlyuchenkova from side to side, making the veteran cover far more ground than she wanted. Then, once the court opened up, Eala started drilling shots into the corners with sharp precision. One side, other side, deep angle, clean finish. It was like watching someone solve a puzzle in real time. Suddenly, Pavlyuchenkova, who thrives when she can control tempo and space, was the one being pushed around. She was chasing instead of directing, reacting instead of deciding. That is never where a veteran wants to live in a tennis match, and Eala smelled it immediately. She mixed in smart volleys to the open court, punished short balls, and kept changing direction with confidence. The movement was sharp, the timing was clean, and the shot selection was mature beyond her years. This was not reckless hitting. This was organized aggression, clinical, calculated, cold-blooded. Game by game, Eala started pulling away, and the energy on court completely shifted. You could feel it. The veteran had started strong, but the younger star had figured out the code and was now typing in all caps. To Pavlyuchenkova's credit, she tried to dig in. She fought to slow things down. She looked for ways to disrupt momentum and make things messy again. That is what experienced players do. They search for cracks. But Eala gave her very few. By the end of the first set, the early control Pavlyuchenkova had enjoyed was gone. Completely gone. Eala had taken over and claimed the set 6-3, turning a tricky start into a convincing finish. And that was not just about talent, it was about maturity. A lot of young players get rattled when a veteran comes out sharp. They rush, they overhit, they start making emotional decisions. Eala did the opposite. She stayed calm, stayed smart, and let the match come to her before taking it over. That is the sign of someone growing fast. Then came the second set, and by now Pavlyuchenkova knew the problem in front of her had not gone anywhere. Eala was confident, reading patterns well, and striking the ball with authority. There was no hesitation left in her game. But the biggest weapon of all, and the thing Eala herself highlighted afterward, was her serve. That serve became the backbone of everything she did. When she needed a free point, it showed up. When she needed to stop momentum, it showed up. When she needed to start rallies on her terms, it absolutely showed up. A reliable serve changes everything, because it gives a player control before the point even begins. And once Eala had that working, Pavlyuchenkova was constantly playing from behind in rallies. That is a terrible way to spend an afternoon. So yes, the score says 6-3, 6-3. Clean and straightforward. But the real story was deeper than numbers. This was a young player recognizing a challenge, adjusting mid-match, and taking control against a seasoned opponent who knows every trick in the book. That is how contenders announce themselves. And if the rest of the field was not watching before, trust me, they are checking the draw now. That serve did not improve by accident either. Eala had spent her preparation break before the Madrid Open doing the kind of work fans do not always see. The repetitive, unglamorous, hit one more bucket of balls kind of grind. While everybody else was posting photos and pretending recovery days or vacations, she was sharpening one of the most important weapons in modern tennis. And today, that investment cashed out in full. When Eala's serve is clicking, it creates two major problems at the same time. First, it earns her free points, the kind every player loves because they cost zero stress and zero cardio. Second, it puts opponents on the defensive from the very first shot of the rally. That means before the point even gets interesting, the other player is already trying to survive. That is a nasty combo. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova simply could not solve it. She looked for timing, searched for patterns, tried to get a clean read on the delivery, and found very little. Every time she thought she had an answer, another strong serve arrived like an unwanted bill in the mailbox. Once Eala established that serving rhythm, the match started feeling like it belonged to her. The scoreboard had not fully set it yet, but the energy absolutely had. Then came the second set. And if Pavlyuchenkova was hoping for a reset, Eala basically said, no refunds. She came out even more aggressive. There was no passive tennis, no sitting back, no invitation for the veteran to rebuild confidence. Eala stepped forward, attacked early, and made it clear she had zero interest in hanging around for a third set drama special. She wanted the straight sets finish, and she was playing like someone trying to catch a flight afterward. Immediately, she stormed to a two-game lead. That early burst sent a loud message. This match was not going to drift. It was going to be decided on her terms. She was dictating tempo, choosing patterns, and putting Pavlyuchenkova under pressure point after point. Now to Pavlyuchenkova's credit, and she deserves it. She did not fold. Experienced players rarely do. She dug deep, steadied herself, and started clawing back into the set. Slowly, she cut the lead and brought herself within one game at 4-3. And suddenly you could feel it. That little tension tennis creates so well. The scoreboard tightens. The crowd leans in. Everyone starts wondering if momentum is about to pull a dramatic U-turn. Could Pavlyuchenkova find one last surge? Could all that veteran experience drag her back into the contest? Could this become one of those young player lets it slip stories people love to overreact about? Eala answered immediately and decisively. No panic, no wobble, no emotional detour. She stayed locked in, trusted her patterns, and returned to the same disciplined tennis that got her ahead in the first place. That is maturity. A lot of players tense up when an opponent makes a push. Eala looked like she had already expected it. She stuck to the plan, protected her level, and closed the second set 6-3, exactly like the first. Straight sets, business handled. And perhaps most importantly, she finished in a way that left no confusion about who the better player was on the day. There was no lucky escape, no controversial swing, no, if one point went differently, debate. This was earned clearly and cleanly. Now here is where the story gets even more interesting. This victory means Alex Eala has now won her first-round match at the Madrid Open for 4 consecutive seasons. 4 straight years. That is not coincidence. That is not random draw luck. That is a relationship. Some players have tournaments where nothing feels natural. Others arrive at certain venues and suddenly look 10% better at everything. Madrid appears to be one of those places for Eala. This clay, this altitude, this atmosphere, this city, something about it brings out her best tennis. She looks comfortable here, confident here, dangerous here. Some athletes have home courts, some have favorite arenas. Eala might just have favorite zip codes. Madrid seems to fit her game beautifully, and the results keep backing that up. 4 straight opening wins tell you she understands how to manage these conditions and how to arrive prepared. But of course, tournaments do not hand out trophies for winning round 1 and looking impressive while doing it. The next challenge is already waiting, and it is a serious one. Standing across the net in round 2 will be none other than Elise Mertens. Now, if you support Alex Eala, this is where you take a deep breath, maybe hydrate, maybe sit down properly, because this matchup is a different animal. Mertens presents a much more layered challenge than what Eala faced today. She is smart tactically, highly experienced, and extremely good at making opponents uncomfortable. She understands how to build points patiently, change pace at the right moment, and expose rushed decision-making. She does not need chaos to beat you. She can beat you with order. That is dangerous. In some ways, Mertens shares similarities with Pavlyuchenkova. Both are experienced players who know how to manipulate rallies and use tennis IQ as a weapon. They understand positioning, timing, and when to make younger opponents hit one extra shot. But Mertens often brings even more consistency to that style. She can extend rallies, absorb pressure, redirect pace, and force opponents to win points multiple times in the same exchange. That can frustrate aggressive young players who want quick rewards. So for Eala, this next match becomes a fascinating test. Can the serve stay hot? Can she keep first strike control? Can she stay patient when points get longer and trickier? Can she handle an opponent who will likely offer fewer free errors and more tactical puzzles? Those are the questions now. But after what we just saw today, one thing is certain. Alex Eala will not walk into that match intimidated. She just handled a respected veteran in straight sets, looked composed under pressure, and once again showed Madrid might be one of her favorite stages. Elise Mertens is the kind of opponent who can make a tennis court feel a lot bigger than it actually is. She is not going to hand over easy pace for you to feast on. She is not the type to donate rhythm, free timing, or comfortable shot-making windows out of generosity. No, she makes you create everything yourself. Your own pace, your own angles, your own solutions. And that sounds manageable until you are 3 rallies deep, lungs negotiating with your body, and realizing every point now feels like a side quest. That is what makes Mertens so tricky. She forces opponents to work for every inch. She asks hard questions over and over again. Can you generate power without overhitting? Can you stay patient without getting passive? Can you stay aggressive without becoming reckless? It is tennis with homework attached. But here is the biggest difference between Mertens and Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. And it is an important one. Mertens is more clinical. When she gets into her preferred patterns, when the ball lands where she wants it, when she senses the opening, she closes the door fast. She does not usually give opponents that extra ball to recover. She does not politely wait for errors like someone holding the elevator. She finishes. That is what elite efficiency looks like. She is decisive, precise, and ruthless in a very calm way. No drama, no unnecessary flair. Just point construction followed by punishment the second something loose appears. Short ball, thank you. Weak angle, appreciated. Second serve sitting up, do not mind if I do. That cold, calculated efficiency is what separates her in this comparison and why she remains such a dangerous opponent for almost anyone on tour. And for a rising player still building consistency at this level, it becomes an especially serious challenge. So the big question now is simple. What does Alex Eala need to do to get past Elise Mertens and keep this Madrid run alive? First and foremost, the serve has to travel with her. Because against Pavlyuchenkova, that serve was not just useful. It was the backbone of everything good that happened. It gave Eala free points, helped her escape pressure, and let her start rallies from positions of strength. It was the foundation under the whole performance. Against Mertens, it may be even more important. Why? Because if you do not earn some easy holds against a player like Mertens, she can slowly turn every service game into a tax audit. Suddenly, every point is long, every second serve feels expensive, and every deuce game starts stealing energy. That is exactly the environment Eala wants to avoid. She needs first serves landing. She needs variety. She needs placement. She needs the kind of serving day that makes an opponent mutter to themselves between points. Free points matter. Quick holds matter. Momentum matters. And if Eala can keep Mertens guessing on serve, it changes the whole shape of the match. The second major key is staying out of endless baseline marathons where Mertens can settle into control mode. Because once Mertens starts dictating rally geometry, moving you side to side, changing pace, dragging points longer than you wanted, she becomes extremely uncomfortable to play. That means Eala has to be smart about point length, not rushed, not reckless, smart. She needs to look for chances to step inside the court, take time away, and finish points when openings appear. If you give Mertens too many neutral rallies, you are basically inviting a chess grandmaster to choose the board, and that is not where you want to live. Now let's talk about the other critical area everyone will be watching, the forehand. Because against a player as observant as Mertens, any small weakness becomes tomorrow's full business plan. If there is inconsistency on that wing, Mertens will find it. If the ball lands short there, she will attack it. If Eala starts rushing the stroke under pressure, Mertens will keep returning to it like a favorite restaurant. That is what experienced tacticians do. They identify the leak and keep pouring water there. So for Alex Eala, a reliable forehand is going to be essential. Not just powerful, reliable. There is a difference. Anyone can hit one flashy forehand winner and get applause. But can you hit the sixth forehand in a pressure rally? Can you redirect cross-court with margin? Can you step in and drive one down the line when the moment calls for courage? That is the version she needs. Because if the forehand holds firm, suddenly Mertens has fewer places to apply pressure. Suddenly rallies become more balanced. Suddenly Eala can dictate instead of defend. And when Eala is dictating, she becomes a very different problem. This is why the next practice session before that match will matter so much. You can almost picture the priorities already. Serve targets, forehand repetition, return positioning, short ball attack patterns, maybe a few extra reps of please stop giving me moonballs patience training. Every detail counts now. The good news for Eala supporters, confidence is already in the building. She is coming off a straight sets win, serving well, moving well, and once again looking comfortable in Madrid conditions. That matters. Players carry momentum, and belief can be just as useful as tactics. The caution sign? Mertens is the kind of opponent who tests whether your confidence is real or just recent. She will make Eala earn it, but if the serve stays sharp, if the forehand stays solid, and if Eala picks the right moments to strike, this match could become far more competitive than some people expect. And if Mertens assumes she is getting an easy day because she is facing a younger opponent, that would be a dangerous misread. That said, one thing became crystal clear after watching Alex Eala today. This is a player overflowing with confidence, and confidence in tennis can be more dangerous than a 120 miles per hour serve with bad intentions. She arrived in Madrid with a plan. Not a vague idea, not a let's just see what happens strategy, not one of those hopeful vacation itineraries where nothing gets done. A real plan, a smart plan. And most importantly, she executed it under pressure against a highly experienced opponent who has seen just about every style the sport can offer. That matters, because anyone can look good when things are easy. Plenty of players look amazing when the sun is shining, the first serve is landing, and nobody is asking hard questions. But when you face a veteran who knows how to disrupt rhythm, change tempo, and make life uncomfortable, that is when we learn something real. And Alex Eala passed that test with authority. She stayed calm, made adjustments, trusted her strengths, and came through with a convincing straight sets win. No panic, no unnecessary drama, no emotional collapse after losing a few tough points. Just mature tennis from a young player who looks more and more comfortable at this level. That kind of performance can do wonders for a player's mindset. Wins are nice, but wins like this, those hit differently. This is the kind of result that reinforces belief. It tells you the training sessions were worth it. It tells you the hours of repetition, the technical work, the fitness grind, the frustrating days when nothing felt sharp. All of it is paying off. That is powerful fuel. Because once a player starts seeing evidence that the process is working, confidence stops being wishful thinking and starts becoming real. It becomes something they can lean on when the next match gets tight. And a confident Alex Eala is a very dangerous version of Alex Eala. We have seen it before. When she is believing in her game, serving freely, moving with purpose, and striking without hesitation, she becomes the kind of opponent nobody enjoys seeing in the draw. The type that makes other players quietly zoom in on the bracket and whisper, "Oh, that's who I've got." She is now heading into that match against Elise Mertens with momentum, swagger, and a fresh reminder that her best tennis can trouble quality opponents. Expect her to walk onto court with her chest out, her serve loaded, and her mind fully locked on the task ahead. No fear, no inferiority complex, no wide-eyed, happy-to-be-here energy. That chapter appears closed. She will look across the net at Mertens and believe she belongs there. She will believe she can compete there, and most importantly, she will believe she can win there. That mental shift is huge, because many young players lose matches before the first ball is struck. They see a higher-ranked name, a more established opponent, a bigger reputation, and they mentally start asking for permission to compete. Eala does not look like she is asking permission anymore. She looks like she is arriving. Now, whether she gets the job done against Mertens or not, we are going to find out soon enough. Tennis does not hand out guarantees, and Mertens is an excellent, dangerous player who will test every part of Eala's game. But today proved something bigger than one result. Today proved that Eala belongs on this stage. She belongs in these tournaments, she belongs in these conversations, and she belongs in the minds of opponents who thought they were getting an easy round. Because this is no longer just about potential. It is about production. It is about repeated signs that she can compete, adapt, and win against experienced players on meaningful stages. That is how reputations begin to change. That is how a promising young talent becomes a real threat. That is how tours start paying attention. So yes, the WTA should absolutely take notice, not because of hype, not because of headlines, not because fans are excited online and everyone suddenly becomes a tennis scout for 12 minutes. They should take notice because the performances are backing it up. And the most interesting part? She is still getting started. There is still room to grow physically, tactically, and mentally. There are still layers to add, big match lessons to learn, and weapons to sharpen. If this is the current version, imagine the future version. That is why matches like the next one matter so much. They are not just about the scoreboard. They are checkpoints in a rise. So now we turn the page to the next challenge. In Madrid. Can Eala keep this run alive? Can she bring the same serve, same poise, same aggression, and same confidence into an even tougher matchup? Can she turn a strong opening statement into something much bigger? We are about to find out, and you already know this tournament just became a lot more interesting. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Eala can go all the way in Madrid this year? Or is the next round the real mountain to climb? Let us know, and we will catch you in the next one.